Yetis! Okay, I have somehow found a way to make a video on performative masculinity. Also a Halloween-themed video. You'll see. You'll all see.
Look up performative males on TikTok. You will be bombarded with videos of dudes holding tote bags, drinking matcha lattes, listening to Claro, and clipping Labubu's to their belt.
Kurtis Connor has become the poster boy of performative masculinity, and he's not happy about it.
Trend going on right now involving a specific type of man that I really want to talk about today. Not only because I think it's very interesting, but also because I've kind of somehow become one of the fucking poster boys for this genre of man. And
the message of his video, Performative Male, essentially boils down to, nuh-uh, not it. Not it.
I can take the criticism to a certain extent, but I gotta defend myself a little bit here. Because guys, I have had this look for fucking years, bro. I grew a mullet way back in 2020. I grew a mustache a year after that, and I started getting tattooed 12 years ago. And also, dude, the whole reason that performative males are doing this is so they can get with women. I'm married, you fucking idiots. I've been with my wife for like 10 years, dude. Leave me alone.
These points alone, it is clear to me that Kurtis does not understand the phenomenon that he has come to represent. Just to be clear, this video isn't about shaming anybody, including Kurtis. I'm looking at patterns, not just people. Performative masculinity has a rich history that extends far beyond dude wants to pick up woman. Men are often discouraged from expressing vulnerability, but some have found a trap door, a very clever one. We all heighten the performance of different versions of ourselves, depending on what the world rewards. Some performances earn social comfort, others earn authority, and some, like the soft boy aesthetic, blend both. The soft boy aesthetic is a clever way for men to get to be emotional and still hold masculine dominance. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna do a little history lesson. I'm gonna be brief, and I will circle back to the commentary boys, so just fucking bear with me for a second. The first soft boys weren't editing commentary videos, they were writing poetry by candlelight. Oh God, the current soft boys are doing that too, aren't they? I think that the OG soft boy can be found in the late 18th to early 19th century England in what we would call the Romantic era. I live in England, I live in London, and my favorite neighborhood is Hampstead, so like obviously I'm gonna find a way to bring up the Romantics. It was just inevitable. Keats, Lord Byron, etc. Their writing was infused with yearning and melancholia and an obsession with nature and love. I have not longed for the world or the world me. She walks in beauty like the night. The heart will break, but broken live on. Dude, that shit slaps. It's so good. Lord Byron is so good. He was also the OG fuckboy. Don't get me wrong. He was relentless. Look it up. But his work was really gushy and effeminate and a tad self-aggrandizing. Trust me, if these dudes were alive today, they would have black nail polish and ring stacks, and they'd be doing like this in front of the camera. They would have like tote bags covered in nipples. Their version of the soft boy aesthetic, the Byronic archetype of a soft boy, it favored a wilder, melancholic appearance with like tousled dark hair and a pale complexion. Same shit, different era, right? I want to highlight here that I'm not saying that these men, because of their aesthetic, were disingenuous in their art or writing their love poetry solely to pick up women, right? Romantic men genuinely felt these emotions. Likewise, many men today who are labeled performative because they engage with feminine art or aesthetics aren't simply trying to impress women. They're navigating a culture that allows emotionality only when it's anchored to traditional masculinity. So they find feminine art that's, allows them to express vulnerability or emotion and that they genuinely enjoy, but their masculine performance accidentally imbues that art with a masculine dominance. Writer Mary Shelley, a peer of Byron and Keats and wife of Percy Shelley, who was another very important romantic, admired Keats's poetic sensibility. She was a massive fan and a compatriot of Lord Byron. Arguably, she is the most impactful author of that movement, era, generation, whatever you want to call it. Certainly she's the most memorable in pop culture today. Mary wrote a book about a character named Victor, who embodies a kind of romantic, performative genius. He's sensitive and emotional and obsessed with proving himself through creation. Themes of this book highlight male vulnerability and emotionality and the absence of a maternal force and the powerlessness that many women were subjected to in the 1700s. If you're interested in reading this book, I really highly recommend it. It's called Frankenstein. I told you I'd get a Halloween episode out of this. I told you. So why bring this up? Why bring up Frankenstein at all, besides Halloween? First, to highlight that human behavior regenerates era by era. Much of today's social grapplings have historical echoes. And that's something I'm always going to explore on this channel, historical context of pop culture. The aesthetic changes, but the underlying structure doesn't. The repeating pattern, the one that I don't think that Kurtis fully realizes, is that performance isn't aesthetic, it's structural. The aesthetic bolsters the structure, not the other way around. He has a performance. I have a performance. You have a performance. Performance isn't about good or bad. It's a thing we all do. What we're circling around but not getting to is how performance can perpetuate the system we're all stuck in. And Kurtis is a part of that system. Performative men at their absolute worst, right, go wrong when they occupy traditionally feminine spaces but use it to center masculine control. That's when we get like emotional manipulators and ghosters and all that stuff. You can do it in less abrasive ways. It's an easy trap for men to fall into.
Obviously, it's annoying to see people, make assumptions about you and your character.
When Kurtis says, I'm not performative, I'm just being myself. Other men for their expression.
It's funny that I dress like this and give off like tough sort of thing going on. And then I cry to Phoebe Bridgers in the shower, and I listen to C Rose and Boy Genius. And the dichotomy is crazy. But I don't even listen to hardcore music that much. Look at this shirt. It's my friend's tattoo brand. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Later.
All right, bro. I didn't like that. I did not like watching that. Obviously, it's annoying to see people, make assumptions about you and your character. I'm not gonna...
He's exercising control over a subgroup. He's doing the thing. Can I be so 100% real with you guys? I don't care. I don't care if these men are performing or being cringy or being real or whatever. What interests me is the indie soft boy who adopts feminine coded traits to signify dominance over a subculture. Subcultures often built by women and queer people, and they do it without realizing they're doing it. There are real-world consequences to this. I've already pointed one out. The art and expressions of female emotion are often dominated by men because they try to find spaces that are safe to express their vulnerability. We remember the beauty and the vulnerability of Keats and Byron, but Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, a book steeped in feminine emotion and moral reflection, is later reduced to a story about a man's genius gone wrong. The creature was written by Shelley as this hauntingly tender, vulnerable, scared being abandoned by the world and his creator. This is a really heartbreaking book, like truly. Today we see him as a masculine, muscly monster. So awesome, cool. Great, amazing. So it doesn't matter if you're making stupid, silly little commentary YouTubes videos or serious novels and poetry. This is life. It affects everyone in all corners. The commentary conversations about empathy and gender and social critique are often guided, led, and most rewarded by men. And Kurtis polices the aesthetics of others. He's using dominance, male dominance, to dictate who is and isn't allowed in certain spaces. You want to be aware of the dominance that you have in a group, because then you're better equipped to support those who don't or can't have the same dominance. I want these commentator comedians to keep doing what they're doing. They are funny and charismatic and have built phenomenal careers because they are talented guys. But I want us to know what we're talking about when we talk about it. And with all the respect in the world, I don't think Kurtis Connor did the topic of performative male justice in his video. When emotionality itself becomes aestheticized and gendered, when vulnerability only feels valid if it's packaged to look a certain way or be performed by a certain type of person. That's how dominance sneaks back in. Because when one group has been culturally trained to hold power, they can end up co-opting and rewriting narratives, often without realizing they're doing it. So yes, Kurtis, you are a performative male, wedding ring or not. You project an image and you receive benefits from that image in your community. The softer, sensitive nature of most men in commentary, mixed with masculine traits, gives them social benefits. It doesn't mean they should change. Everyone should dress and project what makes them feel the happiest and most comfortable, male or female, doesn't matter. But we should all be aware of what's happening when it's happening, because then we'll be better equipped to deal with it when it happens. Ironically enough, a dude put it best. Lord Byron, I think, kind of put it best. I live not in myself, but I become portion of that around me. Subscribe, please, please. I'm a small channel, so every subscription means the world, and I notice everyone, and I send you a little thank you heart in my head. Be normal in the comments.